What's up, everyone? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Give me a couple of minutes. Just want to finish something up, and we can start. Just for everybody to get here. All right. Looks like I'm on. All right. Welcome, everyone. All right. So we had the CPI data hit, obviously, 30 minutes ago, which is United States inflation gauge by, right? So let's take a look at what was in it. So we had a higher inflation year over year, but the core item, CPI, which is what Fed pays more attention to, is actually lower. So it's kind of a mixed bag inflation data. But overall, I think, again, Trump is making more and more of a case for that the interest rates could be cut. And it's starting to seem that way more so. That's why now you see the stock market kind of spiked on the news. I think we're still going to be climbing. I think the best vehicle right now, the easiest to trade, because it's when you get a mixed bag inflation data, it's usually it's easier to there's a few instruments that you can trade which kind of foolproof for the inflation, and not foolproof, but in this instance, when it's a mixed bag, the easiest thing to trade is the long indices, NASDAQ, US 30, whatever the fuck. Doesn't matter, S&P or NASDAQ, pick one. Probably NASDAQ. Why? Well, because if inflation is there, that means the asset prices will be increasing due to inflation. So just priced in inflationary dollars, the price of the stocks will just increase because of inflation. Now, if Trump gets his way and we get a full-on cut soon with the Fed, then markets will increase as well because it's a stimulus to the economy. Thus, it will prop up businesses. Businesses will get access to cheaper money, more money, and it fuels the business to do more things. Thus, the stock markets obviously reflect that in the improved economy, so to speak. Not so to speak. That's what it is. Will be reflected in the stock pricing, right? Because stocks, markets are future pricing mechanisms. They're looking ahead, and they want to price, and they're basically taking all the information that is there, and trying to find a fair price with all the information available. Okay, so one sec. Am I still? Yeah, it's working. One sec. All right. So the stocks, like I said, usually you get once every year or two. There is this major theme that runs through the market fundamentally wise. So, for example, I've spoke about it ad nauseum already, but this was, let's go to the just dollar index, will be easier to see. Okay, so when weekly chart, this was COVID happening, United States raising interest rates while Europe and everybody else were still at zero. This is the price action you got. It was one-way traffic. And the reason why it was one-way traffic is because, first of all, safe haven bid US dollar, because the world is fucking falling apart due to some virus, right? Nobody knows. Well, again, we're not going to be discussing tinfoil shit here. We all know what we know, right? But regardless of that, the bid for safe haven, meaning US dollars, would you rather keep them in some, Turkish lira or US dollar? Obviously, right? In the US dollar, because at least it has some stability versus some third world countries. So the demand increased for US dollar as a safe haven bid, as people are parking money in US dollars and US markets more. And this is why you got this insane run in US dollars, and you got the rate differential, meaning that the United States was paying 5% and Europe was paying 0%. So why the fuck are you going to lend money to Europe when you can lend it to the United States? First of all, it's safer and it pays you more. No fucking brainer, right? So this was the no-brainer trade. I've traded it for 2 years. After that, obviously the dum-dums in Europe caught up to the to the plan, and they started raising interest rates, and this is the reaction you've been getting. I haven't been trading on any of this anymore. I traded the easy part, and when the easy part was over, what did I do? I switched to gold, because the gold is now you have an inflation problem, right? So what's the biggest inflationary hedge in the world? Gold. It was consolidating, broke out, and just kept on running. So gold was a no-brainer, still no-brainer trade in the last several years, okay? Because again, if inflation hits, price of gold skyrockets. If there's destabilization in the world, as a safe haven bid, as it is with the wars in Ukraine and Israel, with Iran, with Syria, all over the world there's fires, right? So then you also have a safe haven bid in gold, and that's what has been driving fundamentally here. And you can see this moving average cloud on the weekly chart, how nicely it contained the price action. It would get away, retest the bottom of the cloud. You can see hopefully on your screens, right? And we haven't gotten out of that cloud yet. Yeah, we're another consolidation correction. It's a weekly chart, obviously. But this was a no-brainer trade. You just buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. How do you know when to stop? When it stops working, but for now it's still working. So you should be bullishly biased versus bearishly biased more so for now. Obviously, this is a weekly chart. This is a long-term view. Then you utilize technical analysis and enter the pullbacks into the direction of the trend using what? Confluences. You can use fibs, you use previous support resistance, breakout points, major levels, key inflection points, or whatever jargon of whatever discipline of trading, technical analysis trading you want to use, from smart money concepts to ICT to Wyckoff to Elliott wave to regular TA, whatever. It's the same phenomenon being described, which is human psychology in action, through whether it's human psychology through algo trading or execution through humans, by humans. It doesn't matter, because the algos were programmed by humans to emulate their thinking, right, and execute on the patterns of what they've programmed them to do, and what the humans, the people who were observing the phenomenon were doing manually. Now they automate it, so they don't have to fucking do it manually, and they can do it 24/7 sleeping. And that's what an algo is. It just, you spotted somebody smart, hopefully you at some point spotted a certain repeatable pattern. Once you recognize that pattern, that it repeats itself, and you backtest it 1,000 times, at least 100 times, and you see that 70% of the time it is a winning pattern with proper risk management, you can just develop an algo that will take that trade. Instead of you sitting and waiting, you can just have an algo do it. And that's what a lot of banks, institutional players, hedge funds, etc., everybody utilizes, right? Quant funds especially. So you don't have to rely on humans who, again, had a bad day, had a fight with their significant other, had something happen in their life, and they're prone to make mistakes. All right, so this is the latest leg up, as yesterday I've described. So we have two. We can divide it into two. We can do this, or we can do this. But so far, this one seems a more legit one. As you can see, we couldn't close above 38.2. Same thing with spot gold. Similar picture. One sec. Yeah. So spot gold was, I measured it here. Okay, so we bounced from 50. Doesn't matter. My goal from yesterday is still this 702 because this is a previous peak, and as you can see, we had a sell-off. We tried to take it up. We couldn't take this top out, so that now we're about to mint the lower low. So this is the low, and we're about to mint the lower low. Hopefully, it runs, and we can pick it up somewhere in this area right here. Because why? Well, because the direction of the trend is still up. That's why. This is just a correction. Just like this was up, corrective, up, corrective. So we want to finish with correction. We want to catch the reversal after the correction. Okay. This is for our charts. So intraday, might be a good trade, but ideally you fib the whole move. And this would be the super buy zone. We might not get it today, but ideally we could start attempting here intraday. And again, we're not going to leave our orders here. We're just going to wait for a reversal pattern before we jump in. But ideally, we retest this breakout point and then we take off. All right. So again, confluence 702. This breakout of the corrective channel. It's same principles over and over and over again. Okay. So, but the no-brainer trade right now, I think, is the pump in stocks. Why? Again, just like with the U.S. dollar and with gold previously, now you have essentially an environment where, well, first of all, we went through a nice consolidation. We had this consolidation retest. Breakout retest continuation. Hopefully we'll retest this. This would be a good sweet buy zone right here. What do you do here? Can you chase? No, you shouldn't chase here. You're late to the party. If you're late to the party, wait for the pullback, then buy here. All right. When you get a retest. But the no-brainer trade is stocks. This is why it's important to understand the fundamentals. That's why you need to understand the big global picture of what's happening, right? So again, I'm explaining to you there's still wars going on. Europe is on fire. It's a shit show. It's been a shit show for 10 years. Nobody wants to fucking, they shot themselves in the foot with their economy is going to shit without Russian gas. And their industrialization is falling apart, and then they have a whole slew of problems with letting in people who cannot assimilate into their cultures. Okay, so nobody in their right mind wants to invest into that type of environment because there's zero safety in it, and it's still on a decline. There's no turnaround yet happening there. So with all the wars and all the fundamental drivers, the best game in town is still United States. So if you are, again, you should stop thinking as you who has $10,000 in savings. You should start thinking a pension fund, right, which manages $50 billion for the Chicago Police Department for their pension, right? Where the fuck are you going to put money, right? You're going to put it in Europe or vice versa, some European company. Why the hell are they going to, they can have a safety again, it's all about safety and not losing money. And the probability of sticking with US versus Europe versus Asia, right now still US is the king. And this is where you park money, okay? So with equities, right now, you still have that, you have fundamentals behind it. So now all you got to use is technicals to find the entry point. So like I said, if inflation hits the world again, like 70s and 80s, the pricing will still have to reflect just like during COVID when we printed all the money, right? The price for everything doubled or whatever, 1.5 times, right? That's inflation. So the pricing for apartments, for cars, for watches, for you name it, food, right? It went up. significantly because of inflation. So same thing here. If the price is gonna, if the inflation comes back, at least the initial, until the economy starts going to shit, the initial leg is still gonna be up. Okay, so you have fundamental driven bad scenario. Now, positive scenario for the stock market, the opposite happens. Inflation drops. This thing is not going to drop. Why? Well, because the Fed will be cutting interest rates. If they cut interest rates to lower, they will start stimulating the economy. And since the stocks are a reflection of the economy, so to speak, then it's still going to go up. Okay? So now you have this no-brainer fundamental type of, obviously, again, we're in all-time high territory. It's not easy to buy. It's not, it's risky because when you're in all-time high, it can have a correction and then a spike at any moment, right? So because this is like the play of the game of musical chairs, right? The music is about to end. You never know when it's going to end, but it might. But the probability is it's going to start ending sooner because now more and more people are afraid to get long at all-time highs because they're afraid they're going to get stuck here. We're going to have a correction. So they're sitting on the sidelines waiting for this pullback to take the market up, you know? So, but the opposite is also true where now, because everybody's waiting for this pullback, this thing, it just keeps on fucking going up. So for your purposes, since you're not going to be trading this on a daily time frame, all you got to do is, so this was a correction and a follow through. Now you've gotten this correction and a follow through. So now you have a daily break. This is a daily chart right here, right? So you have a daily breakout. Hopefully it doesn't go like this, you know, and runs away. Hopefully maybe another day we have a retest and it gives you a chance to enter into the direction of the long. This will be, again, no-brainer right now, as it was with US dollar and as it is and was with gold. When the market is trending, you just buy the dips into the direction of the trend. You don't need to be a fucking genius to do that, okay? Just identify, is the market going up? Where is the money flow? Money flow is going up. I want to be with the money flow, okay? I want to be on a winning team. Don't be an asshole thinking this is all-time highs. You know, you have a fucking freight train running, and here you are in your little hoopty standing on a railroad tracks, thinking you're gonna stop this massive fucking train. No, it's gonna squish you, run you over, like, you know, brush you off the shoulder, right? So don't be an asshole. Don't try to short and find top when market is printing all-time highs. It's just stupid shit to do. You know, unfiltered language. I know. All right. So this would be the, again, and most people are like, oh, well, how come you're not taking trades now? My job is to take high probability trades when they occur. All right. And that's how you make big money. You don't make money because it's a Wednesday or Tuesday and you need to trade. Nobody gives a shit that you need to trade. Nobody gives a shit about your fucking rent or anything else in your life, okay? Besides you and your mom and your parents and maybe some friends, okay? Nobody gives a shit. And the markets certainly don't give a shit. So you having to do something is irrelevant. What you need to do is realize you don't have to do anything. The only thing you should be doing is have patience and have discipline to wait for the markets set up in a proper trading environment for you to take advantage of them. And that not a single, you know, you don't, it doesn't, and it doesn't happen all the time. That's why professionals wait. They wait for an easy picking. You know, you don't want to fight the strongest bear. You want to fight an exhausted bear, right? Or exhausted bull, whatever. It's a lot easier. Why fight the, when it's just out of the gates, whereas, the bull, when it's already ran for an hour, fight that bull, right? And so you get the pullback, and it goes, runs out of steam, and then it, takes a pause, and then regains its strength and starts running again. So when you spot that reversal into the direction of the major trend, This is how you trade. Okay, there's no that's it. You know, I know I might be repeating myself, but it's like in basketball or any sport. You know, it's the fundamentals, stupid, right? It's doing the basic fundamental shit that works that makes you, a great player. All right, eventually. So practice the fundamentals. You don't need to all the bullshit you see on TV with people catching reversals at all-time highs. Okay, there's two dudes who did it, and then there was 7 billion people who got wiped out and got taken to the cleaners in the last 5 years who were trying to do that. You know how many people were trying to short this stock market? You know, one second. So, COVID. You know how many people tried to short it here, 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 here. You know what I mean? And trust me, you're not going to be able to catch it here and then close it right here, okay? You're going to get stepped out 15 billion times. Instead of what? Instead of letting it just go with the flow, all right? Just go with the flow. And this is why I bought, and this is why I made the video to buy it right fucking here. Because that was just a sweet pullback on a much higher time frame, on a daily time frame, on a weekly time frame, right? So it was just an apparent pullback, and this is what I'm trying to do on the 1 hour and 4 hour patterns now as well. So it's the same thing here, just going up, going down, and going this. It's the same regurgitative bullshit over and over and over and over again. All right. So that's all of trading, boys. There's nothing. There's no big mystery. You know, this is just repetitive behavior, taking advantage of the same patterns, and having the discipline not to jump into something that is not ripe yet. It's like eating a very green fruit. You know, when it's not ripe yet. If it's not ripe yet, let it get to the point where it's juicy and ripe and nice, right? That's when you want to eat it, right? So not when it's just barely starting to blossom, fruit, whatever. Anyway, so same thing here. Trading fundamentals basically 10 minutes before the release. Okay, you're not going to be trading fundamentals on news trading. Forget about it. You're trading against algos. That's the question somebody asked. There are nanosecond algos that banks spend hundreds of millions of dollars developing that get price feeds and news feeds faster than you, and they get to react and play the news, the fundamentals. The fundamentals on the short-term time frame, you won't be able to do it. I mean, obviously, never say never and all that bullshit. Trust me, out of 100 people, maybe one will be making money. The rest will be losing money using that system because you're competing against nanosecond fucking bots who get that information instantly, and they don't need to use their fucking eyes to see what the fuck it is and then process it and then click a button. By the time you click a button, it's done, you know? But having bigger picture fundamental picture, you have, once you have the bigger, once you understand where the money is flowing, if the news is positive into the direction of that flow, yeah, usually you get a reaction that supports it. Plus, if you then you have alignment of technicals and fundamentals, that's when you get that sweet super trade. Okay, so this is what I've been trying to explain with the stocks right now, gold previously and USD. You know, so during COVID, the interest rates were going up, and every announcement they would raise interest rates, while announcements from Europe and Asia, they were still holding the rate, or Australia or New Zealand, whatever, they were still holding interest rates down. Obviously, when you understand the big macro move, where the big macro flow is, and the current news comes out and supports it, then yeah, it's no brainer. The price will, you can trade it like that. But it's not going to be a 2 second, it's not going to be, you don't need to make it into a 1 minute intraday super scalp type of strategy, because it can still get whippy before it moves into the direction of the major trend. So that again, and I'm sharing something that you should take. Don't take the whole thing from me. You know, this is your job to try out whatever I teach you, whatever I show you, and implement it on your trading. And some of this will be like, okay, this doesn't apply to me, this doesn't work for me, and but I like the fibs, or I like this, or I like the breakout, retest, continuation, whatever. I'll take that. And then you go to somebody else, and then somebody else, or you read something, or you buy something. Well, you shouldn't be buying any courses, but whatever. And there's plenty of free shit on the internet without you buying. But um, you basically, this is how you create a system over a year to 2 year period. You have multiple teachers. You see how this one, you know, this artist draws, this artist draws. You combine something, you try trial and error, and you come out with your own creative way of analyzing markets and making money and having tools, right? Your system, your trading system, and the way you develop your trading system. Again, it's through journaling. I've been talking about it ad nauseum. You need to record your trades, and at the end of the week, at the end of the month, you need to review them and see what works, what doesn't work, so you can make adjustments. And that's how you become profitable. And that takes time. That takes about a year at least, okay, for most people. Some people do it in 6 months, but whatever. Most people will take it, it's a year-long process. And again, and this is why you have to have patience. And people are like, no, but I want to make money now. I want to make money yesterday, right? I need to buy a Ferrari today, right? So they YOLO, they do crazy shit. Not crazy shit, they do stupid shit, you know? And then they realize that it's not as easy as it, you know, all looks, right? So stop itching to get into some shit, because it's cheaper to be on the sidelines than to click that button, and then you're now and now you're going to be fighting an uphill battle, right? You're upside down. Your whole day is ruined. You can't even concentrate on the winning trades anymore. You're not looking for opportunities, because now you're in a shitty trade, and your brain is occupied by a negative instead of concentrating on a positive. So it's a lot easier not to be in a negative to begin with, because you were itching and you were undisciplined to smash that button, right? So this would be the nice pullback to buy the indices. All right, let's take a look at gold. See, gold now we make lower low. We're getting that correction. For today, I'll be looking for a reversal around this area. If we keep on running, then the other major area will be all the way down here. This is the daily ATR. So there's much room to go. And you're like, oh, I don't think it's going to get there low. Oh, yeah. You know, there have been days it went through it and then took out this low on top of that. You know what I mean? So that's why, again, not in a rush. Pick your levels, pick your entry points, and wait for the reaction around those entry points. Don't rush it. But I could have been selling here when it was at 30, 50 minutes ago, and I would have made this money. Yeah, and sometimes the people who were protecting this low would have bought it, and it would have blown up in your face. So that's why you don't chase. It's irrelevant what the current price is doing when it's not at your levels. Your job is to create scenarios, and if the market confirms your scenario, that's when you trade it, okay? And that's what trading is all about, not you randomly trying to figure out, is it going to go up now or is it going to go down? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Let me hop on in 5 minutes. What is it doing? Should I be selling? Yeah, let's sell it now. And then you get a pullback. You're like, ah, fuck, I know I should have, blah, 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 right? So if you don't want to be in those situations, then you need to be disciplined, okay? So the CPI came in a little, year over year, a little hotter. So obviously, again, Fed is not going to be super in a rush to raise interest rates, because you have mixed bag. Even though the core one, the one they looked more, came in under, doesn't matter. But right now, the market is showing you the reaction that USD is being bid, and it's being bid against everything. So gold is down, euro down, et cetera, right? So let's take a look at the yields. Okay, the yield spiked down, okay. So the markets, the bond market is not confirming the USD story, which is interesting. And that means that the USD move might reverse soon. If either the bond market have to adjust the yields offered for the US dollar based on this information, meaning they need to start going up, or the US dollar will have to reverse, one of those. So we're at the low of the range. We just had the stock market open. Let's see what happens. What are the qualities of high probability setups? The qualities of high probability setup is setup that repeats itself. Okay, it means you need to be. This is your, again, this is something that you can observe over and over and over and over and over and over again, and you back test it and you see that it works, right? It works 70% of the time, and you make money. Okay, so if it works 65, 70% of the time, you risk 1-to-1 or even 1-to-1.5. 1-to-1 is fine. That's it. You're making money. All you got to do is just repeat that pattern. What are algorithms? They spotted something, not they. Somebody smart spotted a pattern, and then they program it for that pattern to be repetitive, for the algo to just take advantage of that pattern. Okay, that's it. That's your job, and that takes about a year to 2 years to figure out your patterns, that the ones that you kind of start seeing that they repeat themselves by absorbing as much information as possible and trial and erroring it. Okay, I'm giving you my patterns like the 702, the 618, the 786, the breakout, retest, continuation. But if your eye is not trained to spot them, you're not going to see dick. Okay, so you literally need to spend months and months trying something, and that's why you need to record it, and that's why you need to create the journal or the data sheet where you have everything recorded, so you can go back every weekend or every month and see what works and what doesn't work, and then you make adjustments. And that's how you create high probability setups that you see, okay, out of 100 trades, 75 were winning or 70 were winning, and I just need to take advantage of that pattern, and that's it. You can create an algo to take advantage of that pattern. Patience is the name of the game. Yeah, because most people, they, every single person who joins a signal group, they ask the same fucking questions. How many signals do you give a day? All right. It's not about the amount, because all they care about is like, okay, I got this $1,000. I want to make fucking Ferrari money today. So how many fucking trades are you going to give me today so I can just blindly copy them and become rich? The fucking stupidest thing in the world. Okay, anybody who's giving you 5 trades a day, first of all, if it's a scalper person who scalps, he won't be able to give you 5 trades a day. By the time he enters, by the time he then writes that I just entered that trade is gone. All right. By the time you read it, by the time you get a notification, by the time you already 3-5 minutes passed, and then what? Right. So now So it's not about the quantity of shit you get spammed, because most of these signal groups, or most new people new to trading, they just want, again, zero patience. They want 17 signals a day, or 5 or 7, 10, whatever, all winning, no losers, obviously. And so their expectation is completely erroneous, and that's the way they get fucked in the ass, So they get chopped out they get steamrolled by the market, and that's how you learn. You get slapped in the face, and that's the only way to, this is the way the market kind of teaches us, by smacking us over there. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, and we're like a dumb monkey. Finally, if you're not completely retarded, you learn not to do the same bullshit, and that's why you become patient. See, and price is getting slowly to my level of interest. Will something happen there or not? I don't know, but I'm not going to be stepping in blindly. I'm just going to wait for some kind of reaction. But again, people were buying here, trying to buy the dip unreasonably, so not unreasonably, but this is why you want to see at least some kind of turnaround happen before you jump on the trade. So yes, patience is the name of the game, because you need to be patient to sit on your hands, do nothing, and wait for those proper setups. Anybody who teaches you that you can be taking 5 trades a day and blah 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 blah, it's garbage. It's total garbage. There's very few people who trade like that in the real world, okay, who are successful. The reason why people teach you that is because what I'm teaching is not exciting. It's boring, right? And then, so idiots, it's like the title on YouTube, how to make $3 quadrillion in a month. Everybody's like, oh, that sounds plausible, right? And that person gets billion views. Somebody who makes a video about, okay, this is how you make money over 10 years. You're like, oh, fuck that shit. 10 years? Who has fucking 10 years? Fuck that motherfucker, right? Fucking retard, right? So this is what you get. But in reality, you're not going to get 17 fucking trades a day. You could, but again, it has to be 17 trades a day that are A-plus setups, okay? So if you have a system that can produce that many signals on 1 minute chart or a tick chart or something like that, kudos to you. There are some people who can do that, but the chances of you doing that are very slim to none. All right, and especially those people who actually do that, it's certainly not going to be sharing shit with you. All right, not that nanosecond shit, because it's too complicated, it's too fast. It's like driving an F1 car, and while you don't know even how to drive a F1 car, any car, right? You're a 16-year-old kid who has zero experience behind the wheel of a car, and then you get behind the wheel of a car, you're like, oh my God, this is overwhelming, right? In the beginning, for those who know how to drive, well, hopefully most of you, right? And imagine, instead of you getting into just a regular car to learn how to drive, you get an F1 car. You're just going to crash and burn. So don't waste your time on low probability, high excitement trades, okay? All those 95%, 99% of people who are teaching you all this nonsense are there to teach you excitement and make it entertaining for you and make just juice money out of you, essentially. They just want some money out of you. They want you to sell the course, to buy into something, okay? And they're not going to be... The reason why I can teach this is because I don't take 15 trades a day. I can spend an hour teaching something because I'm sitting here waiting patiently. If I'm going to be taking 15 trades within an hour, I don't have fucking time to be yapping on YouTube, all right? So I can't be teaching. I have to be concentrated on this, on taking 1 minute, looking at a 1 minute chart and trying to figure out what the fuck it's doing, right? When to get long, when to get short, and everything in between. All right, and then your brain is not won't be able to split the focus efficiently enough, and that's it. All right. So again, if you have trouble being profitable, start with 15-minute to 1 hour chart frame. 15 minutes should be probably the lowest you go to. Again, to each their own. This is what I found that works for a lot of new traders, and I've been doing this for 20 years. All right, so I've seen enough data to see what works for majority of people long term. Again, can you be profitable trading 1 minute chart for the next month or two? Yeah, of course. Can you be profitable doing that a year out? And not trying to, jump out of the window because you mortgaged your home, you sold your car, and you're in debt because you pissed away so much money, because you want it to be exciting, all right? Because you needed action. Because you're a gambler, you're a degenerate fucking gambler who needs action. All right, you want action? Go to Vegas. At least you get a free drink, as they say, right? So, well, used to. All right, let me patience then. So, the question is, Stan, how do I not go bananas monkey press buy after losing my trade in 5 minutes that I analyzed for over an hour? You need to, again, this is not, this is, you're, that means you're emotional. First of all, if you're getting if you're getting that feeling where, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, the trade is going against you, that means you're already trading too big. You should be indifferent. You should be trading the size where you're indifferent until you learn how to increase it, okay? So that means immediately you're already too emotionally involved. You're already saying, the person saying, how do I not go bananas? That means they're already on fire. The brain is on fire. The logical center of the brain is offline, completely offline. So now they're going to do revenge trading. They're going to either teach themselves a shitty habit because they get lucky, or they more likely, and then they're going to be losing in the long term. Or more likely than not, they're just going to deep their own grave even deeper. So as they say, put down the shovel. Okay, when you fuck up, at least you have one or two bad trades a day, walk away. You need to reset. You need to reset your emotional state. You cannot be in this, fuck, I'm gonna prove this motherfucking market right. I'm right and they're wrong. Fuck them. No, you're gonna get squished. You're gonna just get fucking, you're not even, speck of dust. All right. So, and here you are trying to, muscle, the giant. No, you're not gonna outmuscle the giant. Just walk the fuck away, relax, take a long walk, go to the gym, go do some physical activity that will reset, which will drop you from it will reset your nervous system. Okay, so breathing exercises, meditation, workouts. That's it. That's the only thing that works. Or just give enough time, right, for the emotional. So your amygdala is not in the fight or flight environment, and you're just emotionally like a dog chasing a ball, right? Just going with the bouncing around the walls, not pointlessly, but purely because market is emotionally manipulating the shit out of you and extracting money out of you. Okay, so you need to not be emotional when you trade. That's why it's not exciting, and that's why a lot of people like to follow people who are like, oh, I'm gonna fucking take 15 trades within 15 minutes, and but look at their P&L long term. Are they going to be successful? Highly doubt. All right, just again, it's like the Instagram bullshit. You see a 20-year-old kid with a Lambo telling you, okay, I'm the greatest trader since fucking... Okay, have you seen a 20-year-old doctor? Have you seen a surgeon, greatest surgeon in the world, who's 20 years old? No. Why? Because it's fucking difficult. It takes time to learn. How retarded do you have to be not to realize that? A 20-year-old kid showing you an Instagram ad on a Lambo means he's spending time in a Lambo and nothing else. Okay, he's selling you shit to get money out of you. Okay, all right. So he simply doesn't have enough trigger time to become that good. Imagine you're a martial artist. This is your first year in fighting, in boxing. What do you think? You're just gonna go against Mike Tyson and fucking in his prime or whatever, and you're gonna win? No, it's not even gonna be whatever. And here you are buying courses from a 15-year-old kid saying, this is how I'm gonna beat Mike Tyson. Boom, boom, boom. Right? Come on. Stop being a naive little fucking retard and use common sense. Use common sense of just Jesus Christ, of discerning what's bullshit, what's not bullshit. Okay, so so emotional state is controlled by you cannot be in the fight or flight mode and make good trades. You only can do it when your amygdala is your part of the center of the brain responsible for fight or flight is calm, your nervous system is calm, and you do it through breathing exercises. Again, nobody's telling you to meditate for an hour. Do 10 deep breaths. Go on YouTube. Go Wim Hof breathing exercises. Beginners, whatever, and do 3 minutes of just because it switches your nervous system from sympathetic to parasympathetic. Blah 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 blah. It basically changes your nervous system so you're not in the fight or flight stance. Your body knows it's not in danger. Now you're calm, cool, collected, and you're ready to proceed. Okay? So you can do exercise, breathing, meditation, or give it a long enough time to just for the emotional state to subside on its own. But you can't be just laying. But that's called depression. It's you laying in bed and like, oh fuck, my life sucks. Oh fuck, don't do that. Just go exercise. Go do again mild version of breathing or meditation, 5 minutes. Do you want to be a millionaire and you can't spare 5 fucking minutes of your precious time? Yeah, I don't have time. Yeah, well, somebody who's running 3 companies, goes to the gym, does this, does that. We all know, the Schwarzeneggers of this life or right? People who are accomplished 10 different things. And here you are, you don't have time, 5 minutes, because you're lazy. Well, you're lazy, and then you're performing. You're not going to be wealthy if you're lazy like that. If you don't want to, if you're showing the nature or the universe or God or whatever you believe in, that, you don't want it bad enough. Yeah, it would be nice to have a Lambo, but do you want to work like a dog for that Lambo? Not even like a dog. I'm asking you to do 5 minutes, and you're like, fuck, and let me eat a burger, whatever, right? So if you can dedicate 5 minutes of your fucking time to improve yourself in order for you to do better trading, then why should universe, God, whatever, give you anything? It's like, right? So prove to the market, prove to the world, prove to the universe that you are worthy of success. Okay? And that means you become on point with your life. And obviously, we're all young, we do dumb shit. And this is how you slowly mature and become better at, just become successful. Some people don't become successful. They just stay retarded, and well, it is what it is. If you want to be in that group, be in that group. But again, everything has a price to pay. I don't sleep at nights very well for the life because I live in the United States. I live in Miami, New York, and I had to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning when London opened. Now I don't have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, but I automatically wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning because I've been doing it for so long. I have to see what London market is doing, right? So fucked up sleep pattern, that's the price I had to pay, right? Which is not healthy, obviously. It kills you. So same thing, you want to have a good body, you have to go to the gym, and not for 2 weeks or the January effect. Everybody goes on the treadmill for 3 weeks, and then they see they lose shit, and then, and they're like, oh, fuck this, and that's that. And that's what the trading universe wants to see from you. They want to see, are you going to stick with it, or are you just another flaky, I want to have a Lambo motherfucker off the street who just said, okay, I just want it. I want it. I deserve it. I'm a queen, whatever, right? It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Nobody owes you anything. So you have to take it for yourself, and to take it for yourself, you need to become a person worthy of receiving it. All right? Whether you're building an Amazon shop or anything, any business or any trading or anything, you have to become the person that deserves that will attract it into their lives. All right. So you have to become worthy, and that means you have to work on yourself. So if somebody's telling you you should probably do breathing exercises for 2 minutes and it's too much of an ask, you should think about that. All right. Stan had a long to become profitable during your journey is still being unprofitable, like pressure from someone. Well, my biggest thing was when I started in funds, I would listen to. I didn't have. I was profitable, and then I would start becoming unprofitable, and I would go up and down because I would listen to. Like superior older traders who were in their 50s, whatever. I thought they know, because for example, I would be long euro, they would be short euro. I'm like, I would second guess myself a lot. Maybe they're right, because they have 20, 30 years under the belt. I only had 2 years or 3 years under the belt at that time. And I'm like, fuck, maybe they know something. I don't know. And that's how I learned, no, forget about it. Ignore everything, just listen to your instinct, and this is how you develop your system. You have to You just take thousands of these trades. You see that the percentage of winning, losing, and the risk management that is applicable for these specific setups, and everybody else be damned. So that was my problem, like listening to authorities. And we are taught, again, we are taught since kindergarten, by our parents, since kindergarten, since schools and high schools and universities, there is the authority. Even to this day, every single media outlet, right? It says the experts say, the experts on climate, the experts on health. Is milk good or bad? Nobody knows. Shut the fuck up, you fucking expert. There's no experts. They're all making bullshit. They're all making shit up. Fuck them. Do you, find what works for you, and execute it. Don't listen to anybody else. You can listen to and try experimenting with their ideas. That's fine, but don't everybody is different. So even they might be expert in going long euro. Both of us can be. I can be short. He can be long, and he will get out, and I'll get out in a profit because of the fluctuation. Okay, so that's the realization I had. Again, if you also, some people like to set, different personalities operate differently. Some people like to have, a bunch of traders that we've interviewed, and we posted one of them recently. You know, he likes to set, let's say, if I lose more than $1,000 a day, I just walk away. Same thing with winning. If I make X during a day, I walk away no matter what. Even there's another setup, it looks juicy, I need to be disciplined not to overtrade. Overtrading is actually #1 killer of everybody, of all retail, and because again, no patience. So you smash that button, you think you're trading, you think you like being busy more than you like making money, okay? Very simply put. So if you want to be rich doing this, you need to be patient. It has to be about money and not you being busy. This is not a busy, let me be busy type of sport, okay? This is a sport. I need to be calm, collected, and like a sniper who takes the entry instead of just being a machine gun fucking and shooting and hitting nothing, you know? Just suppressing fire, right? So, yeah. Don't overtrade. Overtrade, like I said, overtrading is the #1 killer of all. Not #1 killer. Leverage is #1 killer, but because you overtrade on leverage, that's why how you get in trouble trading, because you do too much and you get screwed. Okay, and you just don't have enough A setups. By the way, nice. These fibs being respected. 50% yes, 618 yes, bounce. So again, our probabilities are on my side that we might have a bounce if a little deeper today. Absolutely. So to the fucking, somebody, why is it jumping on exactly 618? Obviously, why didn't price close below when it probed below 50? See, above, right? So there's something to this, and you should probably investigate it and see if you can incorporate it if it works for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an hour. It's been my pleasure. I'm going to be waiting. I'm just going to set an alert here and wait for that to... Hopefully this wasn't just a 618 and a bounce, okay? Well, so it can be. We're just, because we've gotten the bounce here as well, and then it's sold off. So this might be just a correction to here and then a rollover, okay? So because you obviously had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sell candles in a row, correcting them to this order block here can be very easily done, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you for your time, as always. All the questions that weren't answered today, just repaste them tomorrow. Great questions. We'll always, our mods spot them and reward them with free accounts, okay? So here's to your success, guys. I hope today's lesson kind of really, really resonated with you about not overtrading, about your emotional states, how it's important to be in the right state to produce proper decision making, be in a proper state, so your decision making is in a proper, is proper essentially. This is, you need to take care of you have to show some dedication, and that dedication requires working out, physical activities. You don't need to go to the gym and lift weights all the time. You can go for a walk, go for a 30-minute walk, an hour walk, listen to music, listen to something, some audiobooks, whatever. You need to reset your states in order for you to approach markets in a clean state to make right decisions. I'll see you all tomorrow.